Hello, this is Gothic King 52. In my last video I talked about Big Bang and clock towers. This video I'm going to do a bell tower. My video called Bell Ringing, a Science of Church Bells. I've seen how church bells are made on the episode where John through Mike went into a bell foundry and made church bells, and then later in that episode he went in that same sequence, or he went and he cleaned out the inside of a bell tower, and then he went and fixed the electronics, and the bell actually went off when he was working on it. But anyway, here's the video. 7 minutes and 17 seconds.
I'm thinking about my doorbell. When you gonna ring it? When you gonna ring it? Yeah, I'm thinking about my doorbell. When you gonna ring it?
Cheers, Lizzo. Now, bells. You hear them more often than you might think. Like at school when the bell goes to say it's your lunch break. Or at home when someone rings your doorbell. But I'm actually interested in church bells. And I want to know what's going on up in that tower behind me. How do bells really work? What makes a sound? Well, there's only one way to find out. Come on. I've come here to St Giles Church in South Mimms, Hertfordshire, to find out more about church bells. I want to see how the bells up in the tower create the sound that we hear. Is it really as simple as pulling on a rope?
This is a church bell, like a bell tower clock tower mix. The video is called Bell Ringing, a Science of Church Bells.
Is there any science? But first things first, I've come to meet my good friend Louisa. She's a maths student, and she knows a thing or two about church bells. So tell me, how exactly did you get into church bell ringing?
Well, I always used to walk past my local church as a child, and I used to hear it all the time. I used to love the sound, and I had my friend's dad was a preacher, and he just kind of, and one day I just kind of got into it. Just kind
he just like offered.
Yeah, it was just a natural occurrence. Yeah, and then I had a go and really enjoyed it.
So tell me, how exactly does maths come into bell ringing itself?
Well, it's very simple maths, but it's to do with sequences, and you have a number of 6 bells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're all assigned a number, and then we swap around after we've rung the first bell, so it kind of changes the sequence. So that uses very simple maths.
So you can make the songs by just changing around the numbers.
Exactly.
Oh wow! So
yeah, it'd be really difficult if we rang the same bell.
Yeah, people would ring the same bell. Okay, I understand. But thank you. At long last, I actually get to go up into the tower. I think the ringers are all waiting for me, so I'd better hurry up. We're all familiar with the classic church chimes and the sound we hear from outside. But how many of us really know what's going on up above our heads? Well, you sit back and I'll put in the hard work. Let's go find out.
Put in the hard work.
Look to. Trevor's going, and she's gone. Bell ringing like this has been practiced for many hundreds of years, and I think I can see the appeal. I wonder what excitement is happening further upstairs.
This part of the video shows the minutes of the bell tower.
Let's see what we've got here then. Best wear having protective ear muffs, or I'll damage my hearing. Hopefully you can hear me, because these bells are quite loud, and you can imagine, you can hear them miles away. Now this bell is currently being rung up. To start with, they're hung downwards. It's almost... And why do church bells sound different? Is it because of their size, or their shape, or is it because of this thing in the middle, the clapper? Here at Whitechapel Bell Foundry, not only do they cast the bells, but they also tune them. Once these bells have cooled, metal will be cut away from inside until the bell makes a perfect sound. A church bell is effectively a giant percussion instrument. When it is struck by a hammer, it vibrates at a particular pitch. This is determined by the mass, shape, and rigidity of the metal. This is the same with any percussion instrument. With xylophones, for example, where a different size and thickness of the bar gives a different note. But with a bell, you also have a resonance chamber, which is the hollow bit in the middle. This amplifies the sound, so you can hear it when you're lying in bed on a Sunday morning. So how do bell chimes reach our ears? Well, sound travels in waves, much like ripples on a pond. Lower bass frequencies have longer waves, as in greater distances between the peaks. Let's try this one. You can see the greater distances between the peaks. But with higher treble frequencies, you get shorter waves. Let's have a look at this one. And you can see that quite clearly. In fact, the lightest bell in a church tower is referred to as the treble. And when we pull off on the ropes, you say, "Look to, treble's going, and she's gone." So if you want to find out more about bell ringing in your local area, check our website for press pack of details. Now back to you, Lisa, in the studio.
Next feature shows bloopers. What they're doing is chain ringing. In other words, they pull the rope on the bell, and then they pull it off, and the bell would ring in a sequence. And the bell would be like, oh, I can show you with my glass thing here. You see this right here? The bell would be attached to wheels on the side where that wooden thing is right there. And then it start off like that, and as it rings, the bell will go down like that, and then it would bring back up like that. And the hammer, you can see right there, would move from side to side as the bell would kind of swing down like that on the wheels on the side, and then swing back up onto the other side. And the hammer would move from one side to the other depending on which direction it was. As the rope was pulled, it turned the wheel, and the wheel itself moved the bell like it'd pull and it'd ring it like that. Ding, and then it'd go around. Ding, basically. Like you have the bell right here, you know, and then you pull it, the clapper is on this side. You pull it, the bell would swing around the other direction, and it'd be up, it'd swing around the opposite direction, and it'd be up again, but the clapper would be on the other side instead of on this side. Like you pull the rope and you do that. The rope would you pull the rope and the rope was coiled around the wheel itself, and then tied at a certain bar. So when you pulled the rope, it unwound the rope on the wheel, and the wheel then turned the bell. So, like I said, if it's up this way, clapper's on this side, it'll ring, it'll swing around, and the clapper will be on the opposite direction across on the other side of the bell and the inside itself. Basically how church bells work. But today's modern bells don't require a rope anymore. You push a button, and there's a little clapper on the side that goes ding, and it hits it. But if you push a button, turn on, it goes ding, waits a couple seconds, ding, and it gives it the effect of a real life church bell ringing. Or some towers have computerized bell systems. In other words, they type in the computer what they want recorded, and then it'll play off the bell song, and give it the sound. It'll sound like the tower actually has bells in it, and it really doesn't. There's carillons too. They have these little knobs, and they hit the knobs, and it's like a big piano of sorts. And the knobs are attached to rope that you go up into the tower and are attached to hundreds of bells. So it'd be like ding, 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 ding. They make a song out of it. So some towers have like one rope for a single bell to ring or a chime to call to worship or special occasions, and some towers, like the one featured in that video, have multiple bells, all those known as chain ringing.